Hello, Eco Solutions Organization. My name is Oscar Cartana, and my peer,
Tamir Nasarov.
Today, we are here to talk about a very important problem that is occurring today, which is
The drying up of the Colorado River.
in the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. The river flows through the mountains until it reaches the border from the United States to Mexico, or at least the water that is left of it, which is rarely flowing through. If the Colorado River dries up, it would affect the
Environment,
communities living near the river
population's growth including animals,
and loss of mineral resources. Due to the river drying up because of climate change, it affects the citizens living near the river. A long period of time without rain can cause the river to
decrease the amount of water flow,
climate change increasing,
population growth increasing while habitats are being destroyed and species near extinction.
and finally, mineral exploration near the river are deeply escalating.
Years ago, the Colorado community decided to take action and build a dam. Yet, they did not know later in time it will affect not only animal species but also the water flow going through the border of Mexico.
Later in time, the dam had to be abandoned due to population of many fish species decreasing and the change of downstream, not letting the average amount of water flowing to Mexico. The less water flowing and the more climate change, the more possibilities of the border of Mexico to not have any water at all.
By citizens benefiting their own needs, such as watering their plants, filling up pools, and many more, they did not realize that these actions hurt the river dearly.
Because of these benefits, for the last decade, the Colorado River has been completely dried up before it reaches the Sea of Cortez. Due to our benefits, the Colorado River is just flowing till it reaches its dry up point.
While we sit back and enjoy the pool, as the time passes, the Colorado River is meeting its dry. My peer and I have been researching the negative impacts of the Colorado River drying up. However, we have researched a couple of positive solutions that will prevent this from happening.
Our most prominent solutions are importing water, conservation of water, and what we believe is the most effective, killing shrubs.
Conservation is one type of solution we can implement to help aid the problem of the drying Colorado River. Unfortunately, there are over 50 ways of conservation of water, and even though they would have a positive outcomes, they would require the entire communities around the Colorado River to do their fair share of participation. Even worse, some citizens might not have the necessary materials to help, or actually decide not to help at all. All in all, method proves really helpful when you have a controlled environment. Yet, when you apply it to the Colorado River situation, we find that this method poses more complications than solutions.
Another solution we considered was the importation of foreign untreated water into the Colorado River. In our opinion, importing water is sort of like a double-edged sword, where one end benefits the Colorado River by saving and preserving many habitats within it, and by aiding the local communities that are near it, while the other end taxes the state of Colorado with a huge bill due to the imported 1,000 gallons of water. Since the water has to be imported from the San Francisco River to the San Joaquin Delta and then to the Colorado River, yielding a price of $900 per acre. Again, we found out that this method is unfit for our situation because it poses a great conflict than benefit.
After prospecting what will happen to this situation if we apply different types of solution, we arrived at one particular method that yielded acceptable negativities and produced our desired results, which is saving the Colorado River. This solution is taking down the population of shrubs that have grown within the river in the sections that across the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado.
This overcrowdedness of useless shrubs is clogging the river flow, not allowing the entirety of the river to cross, and thus only letting a minimal amount of water passage. Sadly, this amount is not sufficient to maintain the optimal environment standards of the other side of the bush wall. The plan we have devised to correct this situation is hiring locals to cut down the shrub wall. This would prove to be less expensive than all other solutions and end up solving the problem.